Hello class, I hope you are looking forward to week 1 as much as I am. Please make sure that you print out the student course guide as soon as possible. All of our efforts and learning will be centered around and scheduled by the SCG, so make sure you read this document over very carefully each week. You can find this document under Course Materials under the left-hand navigation bar at the bottom of the page in PDF format. Let's focus our work on the 3 discussion exercises for this week. These include the Post Your Introduction activity and the Discussion 1 and Discussion 2 exercises. Now let's start with something fun. Good discussions are essential for online learning, and good discussions require active engagement by everyone. For each person to play their part, we need to know about one another. That is the purpose of Post Your Introduction, a graded activity where we get acquainted with one another by introducing ourselves and welcoming each other to the class. Begin by telling us who you are in terms of your name, location, program, and specialization. After this, provide a summary of what you already know about the course topics in relation to those outcomes. Now be sure to review the course learning outcomes located on the syllabus in order to achieve this. Finally, provide a brief discussion of an environmental policy or law that has impacted your life, either positively or negatively, and explain why. Also, please remember to click on and read the discussion forum grading rubric found at the top of the page of Discussion Question 1 and Discussion Question 2. Oh, I'm sorry, the bottom of the page, I should say. This is what will be used to grade your assignment. Your initial response for both Discussion Question 1 and Discussion Question 2 is due by the end of day 3. Your 2 responses to other students for each discussion question are due by day 7. For Discussion Question 1, you will be assigned to research a list of natural resources based on your last name. Once you select this resource, review Figure 1.1 in the Dale textbook and identify the different environmental values associated with the natural resource you chose. For example, if you selected old-growth forests, some environmental values you may associate with them include aesthetics, scarcity, their intrinsic worth, and their utility to humanity. Then identify one policy tension between the resource that you chose and a threat to that resource, such as unrestricted commercial logging and development. After this, discuss the ways that different worldviews, such as biocentrism and anthropocentrism, influence the policy tensions surrounding the resource. Also be sure to explain which worldview is most apparent in the policy tensions and why. Now for Discussion Question 2, you will be assigned to research a common pool resource based on your last name. Explain whether this resource should be managed through privatization or collective action, and then explain why. You must use the concepts of rivalry and non-excludability to help support your arguments. For example, if your last name begins with an H, you would research forests. Based on your analysis, you might decide that forests would be best managed by collective action. After this, your work will then finish out with a discussion of one of the ethical principles that creates an ethical dilemma when engaged in managing a common pool resource such as forests. For example, in the case of the principle of polluter pays, or having those who produce the pollution be responsible for carrying the cost of its adverse effects and cleanup, you may choose to explain how meeting this ethical demand in the actual practice of forest management can be difficult to accomplish regardless of the policy tools which are employed. Now your initial post should be at least 250 words in length. Support your claims with examples from required materials and/or other scholarly resources, and be sure to properly cite any references. Now, also remember to respond to at least 2 of your classmates' posts by day 7. Finally, please remember to complete Quiz 1 by 4 a.m. Tuesday morning, your time zone, of next week, of the second week of class. So finish up Quiz 1 by the end of week 1. Finally, good luck, and please let me know if you need any help or have any questions.